Here's a project I did a while ago. Someone needed a stairway carpeted, and I figured out a way to do it. Again, I have some of this stuff I don't have a lot of training at, but it isn't that difficult to figure out. I kind of think if I can do it, you can do it. Even though I might have a little more construction knowledge than most, it doesn't mean that with a few of these videos and a little bit of insight on the project, we should all be able to do it if we desire to. Now, here's what it looked like when I started. And of course, I needed to reinforce a few of the steps and the landing there. And I suggest that you make any repairs you need to. If you have a weak spot in the stairway, fix it. Otherwise, it's going to create problems for your carpeting. Trust me, you have any flex in a stair tread or the landing, any movement, the stairs might move. You know, the back of the tread isn't going to be connected to the riser most of the time. This area can move, but if you have your indoor-outdoor carpeting, if it's sitting on top of an area that's going to move, trust me, it isn't going to be long before the tread moves and the carpeting rips or tears, and this is not what you want. So make sure you fix anything that you think is going to be a problem. And of course, that would be mainly anything that is going to be moving or is already currently moving, and of course could rip or damage the carpeting. I think when you watch the video, you'll be able to use the information in the video to figure out how much carpeting you actually need. And of course, what type of adhesive you are going to use. So I'm not really going to go into a lot of detail. Go down to your local home improvement center, lumberyard, and if they're selling the carpeting, the indoor-outdoor carpeting, there's a good chance they're selling the adhesive that you will be able to use. And of course, that would all depend upon where you live and what type of weather you're actually going to be dealing with. And I would imagine the different adhesives are sold in different states. So I'd hate to recommend one when it wouldn't work for you, but it might work for someone else. So the first thing I did was applied the adhesive to the landing and started there. And I took the piece that I cut of carpeting and started to roll it down the stairway. And in the next picture, you can actually see the adhesive. I just kind of put it out in a variety of different patterns. You can actually glue it, put adhesive to the entire surface, apply it as you feel necessary. I really didn't have to do too much of that here because it was the entire stairway was going to get encased with a metal trim, which you'll see later on. There's the carpeting after I have installed it, and it looks like it was a warm day. The glue set up real fast on it here. And of course, here it is after I trimmed it. I just simply let a little of the carpeting overhang on each side of the stairway and trimmed it to fit. In here you can see it really doesn't look like I've trimmed it yet. Here's the other side of the stairway, and you can see where I'm using two separate pieces of carpeting, and I cut this one a little smaller and just started rolling it down the stairway until I got to the bottom. And you can see here, what are you going to do with the bottom? Not much. That's about it. Now here is where I actually cut the carpeting with a utility knife. And I would imagine if you don't have a utility knife, a pair of scissors might work. Anything you can do, but it really works out fantastic. Makes you look like a professional if you can actually overhang the carpeting and trim it off with a knife later, because every once in a while, if you just cut the piece exactly to fit, you're going to have, sometimes the carpeting will want to turn in one direction, so you could actually end up having an extremely difficult time applying the carpeting. I've actually put carpeting on surfaces like this before and had to deal with that problem. So take that suggestion and do what you want with it, and if you run into the same problem I ran into in the past, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. After I trimmed the carpeting, of course, I replaced the metal trim that was on the original stairway. And that was kind of it. You can see right there. You can actually see where I could break the carpeting up if I needed to underneath these metal trim pieces, but it's always going to be better to roll over it and keep the carpeting in as in one piece if you possibly can. And if you had one piece to do the entire stairway, great, that would probably be the best way to do it. I was actually working with some scraps and another section of the carpeting because the deck on the mobile home actually needed to be re-carpeted also. So I did that along with the stairway. So to recap everything, figure out how much carpeting you need. Make sure that the surface of the stairway is in fantastic shape. Apply the adhesive as necessary to the stairway itself. Landing, whatever you're going to be applying it to the carpeting to, and then apply the carpeting. And I hope this video helps. If something in it doesn't make any sense, feel free to leave a comment on the video and I will try to answer it as soon as I possibly can. And for those of you who are watching this video, it's been on a while, don't forget to read the comments also, because you might find the answer to your question in that area. And don't forget to do that with the rest of our videos also. I can't tell you how much valuable information is in the comment area, including those individuals who have corrected me after I have made one of these videos. So there's lot of great information in the comment area.